With the first overall pick, the Washington Wizards select Cade Cunningham, point guard, Oklahoma State. Cade is undoubtedly the best prospect in this class. He's got good size for his position at 6'8". He's a great passer, he's got a good feel for the game, and he's also an elite finisher. He's got sky-high potential due to his size, his strength, and overall feel for the game. On the Wizards side, this is interesting because obviously you've got Westbrook and Beal in the backcourt, but it's definitely a possibility that one of them is traded before the draft. And Cade is such a generational prospect at the point guard position that I think that you would move Westbrook if you have the chance to pick at number 1. With the second pick, the Detroit Pistons select Evan Mobley, center, USC. Evan Mobley is a unique center prospect that probably would have been considered the first pick in a lot of other drafts. He can hold his own on the perimeter, and he actually used to be a point guard in middle school, so that explains his above average handle for a center. He can also guard on the perimeter on defense, and he's got potential as a rim protector. Mobley is also a pretty good playmaker and a willing passer, though his assist numbers are low due to the lack of talent around him at USC. For the Pistons, this is the best player available at a position of need, and he can join Killian Hayes and Jeremy Grant in the rebuild in Detroit. With the third pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Jonathan Kuminga, a forward from the G League. Kuminga is an athletic forward with a versatile skill set. He's got a good ball handle, and he's great at driving to the rim and finishing in a way that can't be contested. He's got a good mid-range shot, and he's an improving three-point and free throw shooter. He's also shown an ability to be a good playmaker at the next level, finding the open man when he's double-teamed. We haven't seen the G League Ignite team play yet, but if he keeps up this level of play, he could easily be a top 3 pick. For Minnesota, this is the franchise power forward that they've been looking for since Cat was drafted. If Kuminga uses his length to improve defensively, and if he improves as a three-point shooter, he can be the perfect fit next to Cat in Minnesota. With the fourth pick, the OKC Thunder select Jalen Suggs, point guard, Gonzaga. Suggs is in the top tier playmakers in this class. He's a good outlet passer and can find his teammates whenever they're open. As a scorer, he's used his athleticism well to get to the basket and make contested finishes. Coming into the season, one of the biggest questions about him was his shooting from deep, but he's been a good off-ball shooter and good as a shooter in the pick and roll. This was on full display in the game against Iowa. Suggs is also a difference maker on the defensive end. He's got great defensive instincts, allowing him to be active in the passing lanes and cause many other turnovers. He also moves well laterally, which allows him to be a good on-ball defender, and he's rarely beaten off the dribble. With his defensive instincts, playmaking ability, and his size at 6'5", he can play either guard position for OKC. I'm a big believer in what Theo Maledon can do, but the all-around game of Jalen Suggs is too much to pass on, especially with the ability to play either guard spot. With the fifth pick, the Orlando Magic select Jalen Green, a shooting guard playing for the G League Ignite. Jalen Green is a 6'6" shooting guard with elite athleticism. He relies on his quickness to get to the basket, stay in the air, and make contested finishes. He's got a solid handle, and he uses his off-arm well to avoid shot contests. His shooting has been inconsistent, but he's got good footwork and form, so I expect him to improve. The Ignite's first game just ended as I'm recording this, and Jalen Green did not look good on defense, but he's got the size and the athleticism to improve on that end. For the Magic, I think it's time to start rebuilding and move on from the trio of Fournier, Gordon, and Vucevic, and Green is the high potential prospect that can start that rebuild. With the sixth pick, the New Orleans Pelicans select Zaire Williams, a wing from Stanford. Zaire Williams is a 6'8" wing who has high potential as an individual scorer. He's quick with a solid handle and is difficult to contest due to his size. He's been an inconsistent shooter this year, but he's got good mechanics and uses the step back well to get open. Defensively, he moves well laterally and uses his near 7-foot wingspan to record steals and blocks. There may be some questions about fit for the Pelicans, but I think that in the modern NBA, Zion is best suited to play the 5. Even if Zion doesn't start at center, I think that that's where you want him in late game situations, so you would have Ingram at the 4 and Zaire Williams at the 3. With the 7th pick, the New York Knicks select Jalen Johnson, a wing from Duke. One of Johnson's biggest strengths is his defensive versatility. He's a good help defender and also a good perimeter defender for a player at his position. He's capable of guarding 1 through 4 at the next level. He's shown an ability to make ridiculous passes for a power forward, which could be one of his biggest strengths at the next level. He's had his issues with turnovers and decision making, but that should improve as he gets more reps and the game slows down for him. The jump shot has been a struggle so far, but he's shown flashes of being a knockdown shooter. For New York, I think he's an immediate starter at small forward if you slide over RJ to the 2, and adding him would help improve the lack of playmaking on the roster. With the 8th pick, the OKC Thunder select James Bouknight, a shooting guard from UConn. Bouknight is one of my favorite prospects in this entire class. He's an athletic 2 guard who has a solid outside shot. He's the type of player that can light it up and drop 40 on any given night. He does most of his scoring at the rim, and the elevation and angle which he makes some of his layups at are ridiculous. His 3-point percentages have been underwhelming, but he's a good free throw shooter, so there's hope that he can turn it around. Bouknight is also better than advertised on defense. He can usually hold his own on the perimeter and mine for some mental lapses. For OKC, Bouknight can be used in the Dennis Schroeder role, so he's a 6-man, but he's gonna play in crunch time. And yeah, so that's the end of the first real video on this channel. If you guys want me to finish out the lottery, then let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.